Good evening. I had to step out for a minute, but I'm back. Okay, now I had to leave when I get emotional. We are emotional creatures, aren't we? So I have to pray about that. But I wanted to say that during this time, something may have happened before, or the event may have occurred after. Sometimes that happens when you recall things. But I was excused from jury duty. I have been called for jury duty in San Diego, and I was excused because of the injury of my left leg and the condition of it. Um, also, I am told to the end of December. My time will be up at St. Vincent, and I need to move on. Now, we all know that buses have cameras, and that's never mentioned in a lawsuit in Superior Court. There's no discovery. And I'm given a homeless mailbox at the 12th and Imperial, which is where the defendant is at upstairs. And let's see, I want to recall things. I don't want to dwell too much on that, but the purpose here of this is to realize that the struggles and the injustices that Indigenous people, being poor is already difficult enough, struggling is already difficult enough, being exposed to heat, to rain, sometimes cold temperatures in the winter, not having bathrooms, showers, that's difficult in itself. Being hungry, thirsty, for diabetics, they can't take their medicine properly. Pardon me. They're not eating properly. There's a lot of bad things going on, and people walk by it every day and just put their nose up to it, or they don't really care, or it's not their problem, or it's just a lot of bad, sad things going on around everywhere, and it's very unfortunate. And I'm going to be leaving St. Vincent soon. I did apply for my SSDI, which legally I am qualified and entitled to. That's just another injustice. When I leave St. Vincent, December is a funny kind of month, and it doesn't rain often, but it happens to be a freezing, rainy night in San Diego. And the porch is kept open for people to shelter, and I'm on that porch, and I'm beside people that I don't know. I'm freezing. I have no blankets, no sleeping bag. I've been indoors. I can't really carry things. And so I actually asked this person beside me, could they share their blanket? I'm shivering, I'm freezing. And fortunately, they were kind enough to share the blanket and respect me at the same time. And I'll just never forget how horrible that was. I mean, I barely slept at all, if I did at all. And very difficult times and moments that you go through. And a very uncaring society, and struggle. And I decided that I would go up near the hospital that treated me at the time of the accident. I think I'll be close to that if I need medical attention, and it seems somewhat familiar. I took physical therapy a block over for quite a while, twice actually. And so I go up there, And I did get a blanket. And I just lay down around the corner from a service station. And around 8 p.m. and I go to sleep. I wake up around between 3 and 4 p.m. and I go in and get a coffee, use the bathroom, pack up my little stuff, and take the bus downtown for another day. Try to go get some more things because I really don't have anything. I'm not capable of lugging stuff around and carrying stuff, and I haven't gotten a cart yet or basket for my things. But I slept well. Someone from the neighborhood came by, and when I say in the neighborhood, I mean a homeless person, and he's wearing a helmet on his head, and he said to me, you'll be fine. This is a pretty good place, and we're quiet. And pretty much that was it. And I feel fine. I go down and do chores, try to get some clean clothes to wear, get a shower. Now I am on the streets. And sometimes someone will go by and bring me a pizza, or someone will go by and bring me something. If it rains, I won't get any rest because there's no shelter where I lay. So I have to cross the street by CVS in Hillcrest and go underneath a building, but I sit on the wall. Sometimes people come through at night and they left the bars, but no one really approaches me or bothers me. They just look at me and keep on going. Maybe they'll say hello. Those are tough nights because not getting any rest. I'm sure my blood pressure's off the roof. My pain. I do go to pain management for quite a while, and it does control my pain. The doctor does not always urine test me because she says, I know you're not abusing them. She's done her work through the blood and urine, and which I do not. It's the first time I was ever on them in my life, by the way. And it is necessary. I can't get around and do anything, accomplish anything. But, people think, well, what do you do all day? Why don't I have a job already? Why haven't I taken over the world? Why haven't I cured cancer? It's very unrealistic what people's expectations of human beings are in these situations. Very unrealistic. I'm not making excuses to not have drive and to not get things done, but it's my injury and my lack of movement and mobility that keeps me dragging, basically. There's moments you have to sit and there's moments you have to stand. It's very difficult to get comfortable, period. I'm praying and I talk to God and I begin to read the scriptures. And a church brings me a wheelchair and they said, here, you can sit here instead of on the ground and you can carry your things. So now that is helpful. Very kind people from the church come. And it really is very helpful. I use it as a walker because I tried rolling myself in it and I ended up going up the ramp and back into the street into traffic. And a woman saw me and came over and pushed me up and said, oh, you better use it as a walker. You are not able to control this wheelchair. So that's what I did. And it did carry my things and it helped. And I would sit by the Westfield Mall and read the Bible during the afternoon. And started to get people that would come and talk to me and say, hey, people would come by and They were usually workers, the office workers, teachers. I made friends with teachers. There was a school there, and they were just wonderful, just so kind and friendly. Some of the neighborhood residents would stop by and chat with me. It's pleasant. And, I'm trying to stay in some shade, and, sometimes it's very hot. It's difficult to get showers. So you use those wipes a lot, and you try to wash up in a public bathroom. You do. And I'm not proud of that, but the alternative is not good either. You're focused on survival and trying to keep your dignity. I was trying to do research, spent many hours and days at the law library. Like I said, every Tuesday I was at city council meetings, and they're available. They keep them on record and on file. Again, I don't have any advocates. But I really believe that the justice system and attorneys should be disbarred if they don't represent. We're in a place in the world now where if you don't represent, people aren't taking it lightly. You have to do the right thing and represent. And I think the insurance rates for indigenous or low-income people are the same, but try to get paid out or get something, you could forget it. That's not going to happen. It doesn't, and it won't. I'm still getting general relief. I'm still borrowing $232 a month from the county. One thing I did, I'll backtrack, that didn't make me any friends at the county of San Diego, but when I was in long-term at St. Vincent de Paul, I had a job interview, and it was very far. It was 2 trolleys and 2 buses. It was customer service position. And they told me to come up in the morning. They would give me the bus tokens. Well, they weren't there to give me those. And that threw off my schedule, which caused me anxiety, which upset me. And when they did show up, I was an hour behind. So I literally just got there, not knowing where I'm going, no money in my pocket, no food, no water to drink, extremely hot day. Stressed to the max, and I literally walked into the building and through the door, and it was time to go into that room for the test. And they take your coat, they take your purse, and they lock it up. And I went into that room to take a recorded customer service exam. And I don't know, I guess from everything that happened from the time I got up that morning to them not being there, not having bus tokens, having to change the new time for the bus, the new time for the trolley, not knowing them even, not knowing where I'm going. It was about a 45-minute to an hour travel. And I literally got done with the test, and I hadn't started answering questions till the 3rd or 4th question. So I failed the test. Your mind, I have anxiety disorder, PTSD. Your mind's just going in a whirlwind. And so I didn't even pass that test. I'm above average intelligence. I did graduate college. But all those things don't matter now. This is what's going on in your everyday life and what you're going through. So also, because of that, I was so upset that I didn't have water. I didn't have something to drink. I was sweating. Uh, it was just rough. And so what I did was I started to do research on EBT and SNAP because we were told, because St. Vincent served lunch and dinner, or was it breakfast and dinner, 2 meals that we weren't entitled. Well, I think it was when I researched it, I found the code and article that said anyone without permanent residency, anyone that does not live where they live permanently. You cannot permanently live in a hotel. You cannot permanently live in a shelter. Well, I was entitled. So I filed an appeal. And I won my appeal, and they had to give me 6 months, $1,200 of food stamps. Well, I made sure I told everyone else too, because they were entitled. And if you're not there to eat and you're across town or you're working or you're looking for a job, you deserve to have something to eat and something to drink. And so I spread the word. And people got what they were entitled to. And the system is broken. It's beyond repair. It's a disgrace. Anyway, now I'm staying up in Hillcrest by the hospital. And during the day, I get on the bus and I go downtown. Go to the day shelter, do chores, get some clothes. I'm always I never have a problem. I'm doing the best I can. I'm a loner. That's kind of who I am. And sometimes people in the neighborhood will come over and bring me something or stop by and give me a few dollars. I'm okay like that. But one day I was downtown, and a girl that I'd known from the rescue mission when I first stayed there in San Diego said to me, "We're all at the big tent. Why don't you come over and be with us? You know us from before. We played cards and hung out with them a little bit." And I was like, "Oh, I'll think about it." Well, there were a couple rainy days, which doesn't rain much in Southern California, but it seemed to rain a little bit. So I was like, okay. So I went to sign up to get into the tent. Well, the first couple times I signed up, I was not successful. And it was too late to go back up on the bus where I stay. So I'd known another lady that I'd seen, and she said, "Well, come stay up here by First Avenue." So I was like, okay. And we were under a bridge, so if it rained, we didn't have to move. And there was maybe 10, 11 of us. And I got a good night's sleep, and it was good. And I thought, oh, it's not so bad. And she was like, "It's going to rain tonight. Why don't you just stay?" So I stayed another day and slept well, and went to the library as usual, and went to the bay. And I was like, well, it's kind of a nice camp. I was a good fit, and we all got along, and everyone was nice and helpful. We go to bed 8 o'clock at night. We get up 4 in the morning. So I was like, hey, maybe I could become part of this camp. Yeah, I think this is good. And so I did. And this would be where I stay for a few years. And respectful campmates. We go to bed early. No one's drinking. Everything's good. We're all older. Maybe have a redneck or two in the camp. If they don't like somebody hanging out or going on, they just kind of let them know to get moving. I'm comfortable, and I'm like, this is good. And it's close to the library, close to where I go. Won't have to ride the bus back and forth anymore. This is good. In the meantime, now I'm in a large tent, and it's really big. And there's like 100 beds for women and 200 for men, bunk beds. We have a curfew. They do serve dinner. Sometimes a truck will come and bring some clothing. And I'm out there trying to get some cute clothes. I dress well. I accumulate some clothing, some things, that you like or you need. And they have portable showers. So again, I'm back to showering and sleeping. But I take off in the morning and I don't come into curfew. I generally stay away and sit by the water or take a nap at the park, go to the library, go to city council meeting, talk to a few people I know. Pretty much sit by the mall, by Westfield Mall, read the Bible, talk to the teachers, which are wonderful, and some of the workers, and just some of the neighborhood people were really very friendly, genuine, kind. And some people come by and pray for me. Really makes your day and gives you light and hope. I'm not doing much through the courts. I had asked for some continuances. I got them. The lawyer's not doing anything. It's not too long till she asked if she could get out. She wants out. And, well, she wasn't doing me any good anyway. What a joke that was. So I took my papers to a real lawyer and his brother. And he did say he would see me. He looked through my paperwork and he said to me, well, motions need to be filed. He said, you do have a good case. He said, however, he goes, I can't just take your case because I have clients and you're trial ready. This is a trial readiness hearing you had. I just can't pick this up right now. I'm just not able to do this. And so that kind of just was another thing that I let her out. I shouldn't have. I should have sued her personally. But, you should have, could have, would have. When you're in those situations and you have nothing to work with, it's a lot easier said than done. I'm just one of the millions. I mean, people could get in line that have had worse happen to me than this story or similar, and that's the problem. It's really a problem. And I did let her out. I remember when I let her out. Before I let her out, though, she had called me and told me that there was a mediation, that the judge had ordered mediation. Well, I went to the Superior Courthouse. I went upstairs and looked at my record and my case on file there. And the judge had not signed mediation papers. Now, I tried to get a friend to go with me to the mediation. He went with me. And I was supposed to have a half hour with her before mediation hearing. And it was the weirdest thing. During that 30 minutes she was to be with me, she kept ringing my phone and she would say, oh, meet me over here. I'm at the corner of the Emerald and this street. Well, I'm slow, so my friend was with me. We'd go over there and I stand there and I don't see her. Well, then she'd call and say, oh, I'm up here on the second floor of this building. Well, we'd go up there. Well, then I got to sit down on the couch. Well, she's not here. Well, she was making a fool of me and using up the 30 minutes because I don't know what she was doing or who she was with. She was with her attorney. And then she does meet, but as soon as I see her and him, she's like, we got to go upstairs. It's time. So she was killing the 30-minute that I was entitled to. However, they would not allow him to come in the room with me. And the mediator, her lawyer, and her were in my face screaming, sign this paper, take $500. Well, she told me the case was worth $500,000, which is worth 10 times that, really. And if they were to receive their penalties. Anyway, you can't even pay me for what they did. Anyway, they scream, right in my face. I mean, they're all right here. And I was like, no, I'm not signing anything. No. And I did not, and I left. Well, I said I wasn't disabled when I got on that bus, but they disabled me. And so we left. My friend, he was outside sitting in the lobby. And then we left. And it just seemed to nothing was going to come of it. It was just everything, the declaration that I filled out disappeared. I mean, just everything. And the judge, when I did go in, said, Ms. Sprankle, you have every right to sue. I dismiss this without prejudice. I've seen your injuries. And that's how it was left. As far as the lawsuit goes, that's how it was left. Now, I'm at the tent for, I think, several months. But I'm in physical therapy, and, it's just rough. When I come home, I mean, I spent 8 hours tossing and turning and unable to stop. I'm just miserable as could be. And trying to do the best I can, A day there is like you get up, you make your bed, you put your things away, you take a shower, you get something to eat. Then I leave usually and then spend the day out and then come back at curfew's 10 o'clock. The nice thing about it was it had a large fence. But if you couldn't sleep, you could sit outside. And there were many nights I sat outside. Some nights I would sit out and play a dice game or cards. But it was nice that you could do that. It helped, really helped. It comes to the point where I'm still not getting my SSDI. I'm still borrowing from the county. My legs are definitely not getting any better, and they're not going to. They give us a mailbox at 12th and Imperial, which is, the defendant is upstairs. And every time I pick up my mail's open. But it's through the first class mail. It's not like this person is from the welfare office, but he's dishing out the mail. But it's not in-house mail. It's not like coming from where you live in your building or in-house. Like, it's outside mail. It's USPS. And they keep opening my mail. And some of it's medical. And so I had to complain about that. And they have no right to open my mail, and they constantly open my mail. And every time I pick it up and he gives it to me, it's open. Well, he says he can. No, he cannot. I found the statute. I scheduled a hearing. But every time I try to do something else comes up. The day of the hearing, something else came up, and I couldn't be there. And then I just didn't get back to that. It's just keep trying. It's like giving someone a piece of thread and saying, here, climb the mountain. It's just like, geez. So I went over to where I sit by the mall one afternoon, and they had different churches there, different religious groups. And Some were Jehovah's Witnesses. I spoke to them a few minutes. Some were a rabbi. I spoke to him for a few minutes. And he said to me, did you ever think that your case might not be moving forward because you have to forgive the bus driver? And I said, oh, that's true. I said, you're right. I do. I mean, that's part of the word, isn't it? So I started thinking about that. And it took me probably a good 6 months, but I did. I did forgive him. And my life certainly got better, and my spirituality and calmness. And when he says he will give you peace, he will give you peace. And I do feel a lot better, and I'm glad he gave me that advice. And I'm probably going to stop at that and pick up here chapter 4, maybe tomorrow, maybe another day. I think we're going to have thunderstorms tomorrow, so it'll be coming up soon. But this is where a lot of things change, and I surrendered. This is close to the time I surrender to the Lord, of course. So God bless you. Thank you for listening. I pray for you all, and take care of yourself. And remember, love one another. Be good. Bye-bye.